Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Community Centered. I'm your host, Debbie O'Handley, with my friend Margi Kyle. Margi, how are you?
Terrific.
Oh, wow. I like that answer. That's good. What's that all about?
Gonna fake it till I make it.
Atta girl. That's what we got to do. The weather's a little bit cooler, so maybe that has something to do with it.
It does feel good.
Yeah.
It does feel good.
How's your dizzy?
I am going on 6 months.
I hate to say it, are you still dizzy?
I'm a dizzy old broad.
Margi, don't say that about yourself. You're
Why
good.
not?
You're
I
good.
am.
Any relief at all?
A little bit.
Good.
A little bit. I've got new exercises, but still, every now and then I just feel like I'm walking on
Aw.
air. And
I
it's
can't even
really-
imagine.
Yeah, it's awful. But I'm going the 30th of September for all-day tests. I think the rest of the problem is coming from my neck.
Okay.
So.
Well, we're going to be praying for a relief for you
Yes.
and an answer to your prayers on that. I am on baby watch. We are
I
a couple
just
more
can't
weeks
stand
out. Me
that.
too. I am. I'm tired of like calling her and saying, "How are you feeling?" She's like, "Stop calling me. I'm going to tell you when I'm not feeling good." So, just kind of waiting. It's better than waiting for Christmas.
Oh,
It's so
there's
exciting.
nothing else in this world
I
like
know.
it.
I know. But I don't know why, when this crazy world, you'd want to bring somebody into it with all the crazy that's happening out there.
Yeah.
But just a shout out to Bailey Middle School yesterday with
That was
the
awful.
trauma that
Yeah.
they had there, and all those mamas and all those kids. And I know there's a lot of stressed out moms today that are worried about their kids being at school, and a lot of kids that were stressed out. We had our own kids at Hope House that, our moms can't take
I
off
wondered.
work and come
Yeah.
and pick these kids up. So we had to kind of go into action mode with that. And it just was really, it's just a crazy time in our world. So
It is. I was on a family Zoom Sunday, and one of the cousins had her granddaughter on the Zoom, and I said, "How is 7th grade?" And she said, "I'm bored silly." And I thought, well, just be grateful you're bored, because with
Yeah.
everything going on, could be a lot worse.
Well, it's kind of crazy. Yesterday I was going about my day and I got a text from my brother who lives in Las Vegas. And he said, "What's going on?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Wait, what? How did you find that out?"
Yeah.
So I don't even know how we did find out. But so we kind of sprung into action, and that's what we do, right?
That's right.
Take care
You
of
have no
kids. But
choice.
give yourself a little permission today to just kind of rest and take it easy and regroup. I mean, that is a very traumatic thing. And
Awful.
recognizing the
Yes.
trauma in ourselves and in our kids is important now, because we're not doing enough of that, and giving ourselves permission to just kind of reset and take a deep breath. So all those mamas and dads out there and kids, we're thinking about you.
Yep, we certainly are.
Yeah, and hoping that that was the last of that, and that goes away for sure. So what else is going on?
Well, my son invited me over for dinner Sunday night,
Nice.
and he had just purchased a new pizza oven.
Fun.
So he made everybody their individual pizzas. I have a
Wow.
picture somewhere. What fun. Within a minute, you had a hot pizza on your plate.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Is it like a wood-fired thing, or just like a little mini pizza oven that
it's a mini pizza oven where
Yeah.
he can just do one at a time.
how
But-
fun?
Oh, God, he had more darn
You
fun.
get to be creative and taste good and have some family time all together.
Yeah, it was. It was great.
That sounds
So,
marvelous. We had,
Before the rain.
which was quite a production last night,
Yes.
especially driving home in it. That was a little bit of a tropical storm, I think. The remnants of Helene,
Yes,
maybe, I think.
yeah.
I know that Hurricane Debbie washed over here quickly, and she left
You
our
did your
community. I
damage.
did my damage, and we moved on. So, and then I'm going to need you pretty soon out at our new builds. We're getting ready to paint and think about
Well,
colors.
every
and-
week you tell me that, and then you never call.
Well, Margie, I am subject to contractors and builders, and if you've ever lived in that
My
world,
world, yes.
it's not good. And we had a board meeting last night, and my board was like, "Well, you are going to get your GC at the end of this." And no, I don't need another A B C D E F G after my name. But it's been a trip. It really has. And so I'm looking forward to catching up with one of our guests today, Dan, who's doing some of the work for us. They've been on hold, and I know he's patiently sending me a couple of texts every now and then. Hey, what's going on? So looking
You're
forward
gonna
to
need some
getting.
heat soon.
Yeah, looking forward to getting to the finish line with that, and knowing that the impact that they're going to bring to this community is really what's got me anxious because the phone calls and the emails just don't stop. So we got to do a better job of addressing housing insecure people in our community.
Yes, we do.
So I am
Absolutely do.
looking forward to getting to the finish line with that, so we can safely put 2 more families into some stability.
Ah, I love what you do.
I do too. I do too. I really
Yeah.
do. I'm honored. It's an honor and a blessing, and it's amazing to watch the transformation happen. And it's for me. We move a new family in tomorrow, and I get as excited as anybody else with the
Do
hope.
they have any children?
They do. They have 3 children. So
Why don't they come to the storage unit?
wow. Well, that sounds amazing. I think we might have to make that
I
happen.
think that would be more. I love it when the kids come.
Aw, that's so sweet. He's
You
a
give
little
them a
3-year-old.
bag and you say, fill it up, and they go, oh,
Wow.
no.
Wow. Yeah, we have one family moving in with 3 children tomorrow. And then I believe on Monday, we move another family with 3 children in. And then we move a family with 2 children out
Okay,
and into our home in Davidson.
beautiful.
So, yeah, we had
But
a,
don't forget, because that's what we love doing.
I do forget about that. So I do have to make an effort at trying to remember
Yeah.
that there's a little treat in our community
That's right.
called Margi. Sweet
Yeah.
Margi. Sweet Margi and her smiles. What would we do without Sweet Margi and her smiles in our community? Well, I'm looking forward to meeting our guests today and talking about something very exciting that you and I are always a part of and are just blessed to
Yes,
be a part
that's
of.
right.
I don't think when we talk about fundraising, I think the general person understands the work and
Unbelievable.
the time, energy, and effort into it. It sounds like a great idea. Let's have a fundraiser. And then you're thinking, where is the fun in this fundraiser? But I value and appreciate that. We do the gala every year, and it's such an undertaking. And I know that they have other lives and there's a lot that they have going on.
That's
So
right.
the fact that they've taken this on and that they can then turn around and turn that into really hopeful stuff and good stuff in our community is really a blessing.
Well, again, we talk about this almost every week. The nonprofits and the organizations all pulling together to help each other.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anything like it before, and I love it.
It is really good stuff,
It
isn't it?
is. It is.
I know that we have the Ada Jenkins meeting tomorrow
Yes,
at 9
we
a.m.,
do.
the North Mech Mobility Partners meeting, and we're going to find out some information of a carryoff from the last time we met. So that's exciting. I just wish we could just keep moving the needle.
Well, we're doing a good job
Yep.
of helping.
Yep, we are. We are doing, everybody's doing their part and doing their share.
And if there's anybody out there that has a nonprofit that we can help, we would love to know about it.
You can call the studio right now at 844-STUDIO-4, and we can get that information and give you a call back and see if we can't get you booked on our show.
That's right. Yeah.
Because our partnership with the McIntosh Law Firm loves for us to have our nonprofit partners in the community. So shout out to Mr. McIntosh and his
Yes.
firm and his amazing, generous attorneys that he has doing good work in our community.
It's another great example.
Yes, absolutely. I think
Yeah.
it's a requirement of all of his staff to have some kind of part and play in that. So when we come back, we have 2 guests who are shining bright stars in our community we're going to introduce you to. Hang on.
There's more Community Centered, presented by McIntosh Law and hosted by Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, our wind is gone and our rain is tapered off to nothing more than a few scattered showers that can still remain for the rest of our Tuesday evening. We'll stay mostly cloudy as we go into the overnight hours. Temperatures tonight drop down into the mid-60s for our Wednesday. Well, don't put the rain gear away just yet. Some clouds and a few peaks of sun at times, but we'll run another chance of scattered showers for our Wednesday afternoon. Getting drier, though, toward the end of the week, and a nice weekend coming up. That's your forecast for the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like ISI Denver.
Here Here is your WSIC community calendar. This Friday night, the monthly car show Hot Rods and Hops returns to RevFast. The late Apex Storage Condos on Cayuga Drive in Mooresville welcomes the slickest and fastest cars, motorcycles, trucks, racing, and high-performance machines. Food trucks will be on hand for delicious dinners, and Hoptown Brewing will be serving up cold beer. Get your weekend started off right with Hot Rods and Hops this Friday night at 6 p.m. at the late Apex Storage Condos in Mooresville. Birkdale Village's Live Under the Oaks concert series is also happening on Friday night. Ryan Winters will be playing on the Birkdale stage in Huntersville beginning at 6 p.m. Food and beverages will be for sale at the many restaurants around the village. Grab your chairs and your friends for the Ryan Winters concert Friday night at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. Movie in the Park is happening September 20th in downtown Huntersville. The show at Veterans Park on Main Street and Maxwell Street is open to the public free of charge. Bring your blankets and lawn chairs for an evening under the stars with the showing of Space Jam on a big screen. Movie in the Park begins at 7:30 p.m. at Veterans Park in Huntersville on Friday. The NHRA returns to ZMAX Dragway this weekend for the Carolina Nationals. When the temperatures cool down, the excitement heats up at the Bellagio of drag strips. Every ticket is a pit pass, giving fans unmatched access to the drivers and crews who power the NHRA's thunderous 11,000 horsepower machines to their limits. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com for information, tickets, and details.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays, October 5th through November 24th. A non-stop outdoor family adventure. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Macintosh Law is a proud sponsor of Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
I am honored to have the pleasure of introducing not only a dear friend, but Dan Mills was on my Little Smiles board when we first started. And that just meant the world to me. And Dan is the event sponsor for the Rotary of Huntersville. And we also have Wendy Whitehurst. And Wendy is co-chair for the Rotary of Huntersville. And we're going to talk about the Wine Spectacular, which you have every year, except for the 1 year because of COVID. And this year it is October 26th. So, Dan, do you want to start off with a little bit of the history?
Sure, I'd be delighted to, and thanks for inviting us here to the event. I would tell you that it started out very humbly 25 plus years ago, and one of our charter members for our Rotary Club started it, and it was a gathering of about 8 people in a basement, and they decided to bring some wine, have a good time, have some fellowship, and talk about ways they could do some good things in the community. So from there, it's kind of grown from 8 people to hopefully about 200 at the event this year. And we can obtain or ascertain our goal of raising about $200,000 that evening.
Oh,
wow, that's amazing. Before we go any further, Margi, do we have a shout out to give to Dan Mills on being the Distinguished Rotarian of the Year?
Well, I think I stumbled and the crown fell. I picked it up and they said, here, you take it and run with it. But yeah, it's quite an honor to get actually from Rotary. It's the second time I've been nominated and awarded the award. So it really speaks to service above self.
Yes. Well, that's totally who you are.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
In
well,
every sense.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I had no idea we were amongst an honoree of distinguished character.
Well, that's questionable depending on who you ask, but I'm sure that anybody that's received that from Rotary is very honored to have it. So it's quite special.
Yes.
Can you tell us about Rotary? What is it?
Well, it's hard to explain, but I can tell you that Rotary is a fellowship and a social gathering of people that are like-minded, that want to do good things in the community. Every club is different in the way that they approach how they gather with one another. One of the main things that Rotarians do is service above self.
Yes.
And that is to be a part of the community and find service projects in the community that need attention and an outreach from people that are in business or are individual contributors of business, such that they may be able to support their cause and help the beneficiaries directly.
Yeah.
And how long has Rotary been around for?
Knew you were going to ask that.
Sorry.
Yeah, it started in Chicago.
Oh.
And it started with a couple gentlemen there, and they basically, kind of like the Wine Spectacular, decided that they wanted to do some things in the community that were benevolent in nature and beneficial to all concerned. And so it started there, and now it's international, and the amount of outreach that it has through your membership, anywhere you go in the world, basically, you can find a Rotary Club.
Yes.
And know that you have a home or a friendly face.
Yep.
So if I'm a listener and I want to get involved, how do I get involved?
Well, you can go on the web and look up the Rotary clubs that are available in the community where you live or where you work. They meet at different times. Some meet in the morning, like our club, for breakfast. Others meet at lunchtime. Some meet in the evenings. Some are virtual that meet through a combination of Zoom and in-person meetings. So you can do it that way. Or if you're interested in our club, which is the Lake Norman Rotary Club, you can go to lakenormanrotary.org. That's lakenormanrotary.org. Learn more about us, and then just come to a meeting at 7:30 at Northstone Country Club in Huntersville.
Is there any requirement?
I think the only requirement is to be a service-minded person and be willing to support the goals of the club, which are basically to either provide time, talent, or treasure, or all three, depending on your station in life.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. Wendy, how did you get involved?
Well, I was working with Ada Jenkins.
Oh, okay.
And I was working on I was in the charter group for the Curry Celebrity Golf Classic and helped launch that. And then I got involved with ICE. And at the time, the person that was on the board at Ada Jenkins who was also a Rotarian, was heading up the Wine Spectacular. That was 12 or 13 years ago. And he brought me over to the Wine Spectacular. And so I've been involved with, Adam was 2 years, and then you came in, and we've been working together since then.
Correct.
Over a decade.
So have both of you co-chaired it all these 12 years?
More or less.
Wow. That's very cool. It's like your working wife, whatever you call it, or like your non-for-profit wife.
Right,
There
right.
you go.
Well, we spent a lot of time talking about the event, and Wendy is a tireless worker for the detail work
Yes.
that has to be done. We couldn't make it without you.
You're a good
So thank
pair.
you.
That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
'Cause you
couldn't
pull
make it
off-
without him.
Yeah, you pull off a spectacular event. You do every year. I mean, from the decorations
Oh,
to
it's
the
amazing.
energy, the
Yeah.
enthusiasm, everything about it has always been extraordinary.
Well, we appreciate that. We have a lot of people that work hard for the event. And Margie, I wanted to tell you that I'm very familiar with the storage unit and what's in there and what it does for children and families. It's also a good haven on Sunday morning after the event. I don't know if you know this or not, but I remembered the code to get into the
Yes.
storage unit.
Yes.
And I just sit in there by myself for about
And
4
play with your
hours.
toys.
Right. Play with
I
all the
know.
stuffed animals
Wait, and
until I
said
come
to-
back to my
I
sensibilities.
said to one little girl, take all you want because I don't have time to play with all these toys. And she said, I don't know how you would even begin.
You know, that's funny you should say that, Dan, because we have one down the hall from Margie, because I came to see her space. And I was like, I think we need one of these. And it is a great place to just go hide
Yeah.
out and not let anybody know where you are. And all the goodies are stored in there, right? So, well, we appreciate Margie's little, what do you call it? Toys R Us or Toys?
Smiles are
Smiles
us.
are us when you go in there, because
Yeah.
it does make you smile to see all the great things that you have in there for our kids.
Well, and they've all been donated with just such grateful people
Mm.
that really know.
Well, one of the things that Margie has done with our Rotary Club here in Lake Norman, Huntersville, is every year we're asked to support some families through our Christmas drive. And invariably, there are toys that are requested, and just stuffed animals to make a youngster feel loved and have something that's comfortable for them. And they always open the door for us, and we really appreciate your help.
Yep.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Margie comes out with the rolling cart and the black garbage bags and says, fill them up. So thank you for doing that. That's amazing.
Well, that's what we love to do best.
Mhm, for sure. So Wendy, how many hours do you think goes into planning this event? Now, I know you probably have a template down, right? Doing it 12 years together, but what would you say on the average every year it takes to pull it off?
80 or 90.
Wow.
At least.
I'm just thinking of what it takes just between meetings. We've got the venue, so we do have a template.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of things down pat, and we've been using the same software. So we have determined that people really like old school bid sheets, running around, seeing who's bid on what.
Yeah.
And
It's a healthy competition.
It is. It's fun.
so we're back to that this year, and it keeps people engaged rather than everybody having their phones out. It's like I don't even let my kids do that at dinner. Why would I want all the guests at the Wine Spectacular sitting around with their phones out?
Right. You want them paying attention.
Yeah,
to
but
the
it
message.
takes a lot of time, but it's fun.
Right. And, out of all the things that we did last year, we said to ourselves, maybe we should upgrade the event and try something new, and which we try to do every year. And we tried to do the electronic phone bidding for the silent auction items. There's a lot of good that comes with that, but some of the few negative comments we got is they wanted the old bid sheets back because they want to go out there and elbow their friend to get their number on the sheet. So that's what we want because it all benefits the community, and it's a lot of fun.
It gets people up and moving
does,
too,
and talking.
The energy in that room is always so electric anyway.
Amazing. Yeah.
Remember last year when the wine bottle fell?
Oh yes, yeah. We had a case of we had one wine bottle fall out of a case, and that was kind of exciting for the crew there at Northstone. And you have Joshua Dovey with his soothing voice doing the MC duties, and we have a lot of people in our area here that donate their time, talent, and treasure to help us, and we're very grateful for that.
They certainly do. That's for sure. How many different Rotary clubs are here in this Lake Norman area? Do you know?
We just started another one, too.
Yeah, probably in our general area, there's probably 6 to 8.
That's wild.
And the biggest thing is getting the word out, like the question you asked about how the event started, which is a good story in and of itself. But what do we do in Rotary?
Yeah.
It's really service above self.
Absolutely. And I love that there's choices, right? If you're not a breakfast person,
That's
you
right.
can go for a happy hour.
Well,
if you're
and
not
if you
happy
can't
hour.
go to one, you just can do a makeup somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I know when we come back, we're going to dive into a little bit more about the auction itself and the night itself, what that's going to look like. And so I hope our listeners, if you have a question you want to ask Wendy or Dan or Margie and I, we're at 844-STUDIO-4. Or if you have something that you're thinking you'd like to donate to the auction, we would love to hear from you. So don't be shy. Go ahead and give us a call.
Are there still tickets available?
Still some tickets available.
Okay,
We'll give
and
you some
we'll give
information
you that
on it.
information, too.
Okay, when we come back from the break, we are looking forward to getting all of that information out there, what possibly they could need for the auction, and how to buy tickets and how to get involved. So stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly.
Okay.
Call 844-STUDIO-4 now to join the Community Center discussion on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Presented by Macintosh Law.
Well, our wind is gone and our rain is tapered off to nothing more than a few scattered showers that can still remain for the rest of our Tuesday evening. We'll stay mostly cloudy as we go into the overnight hours. Temperatures tonight drop down into the mid-60s for our Wednesday. Well, don't put the reindeer away just yet. Some clouds and a few peaks of sun at times, but we'll run another chance of scattered showers for our Wednesday afternoon. Getting drier, though, toward the end of the week, and a nice weekend coming up. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
And welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
This is Fred Lowry at Lowry Drug. We now have our own brand of full-spectrum hemp extract, also known as CBD oil. I personally manage this product as it was grown on my farm here in Iredell County. It was then processed and bottled here in Statesville. This is a true herbal extract with all the medicinal components intact. A product you can trust to be authentic. And since there is no wholesaler, it's at a price you can afford. Try it at Lowry Drug on Hartness Road in Statesville.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Are you in constant pain, under constant stress? Just need a moment away? Repeat after me. Serenity Now Massage Therapy. SerenityNowMassageandWellness.com with locations in Mooresville and Cornelius.
Family, quality, value. With a legacy of excellence for over 40 years, Horn Heating and Air Conditioning will make your house feel like a home. Welcome home to the feeling of HornHVAC.com. DrumLandscapeSupply.com. DrumLandscapeSupply.com. DrumLandscapeSupply.com.
Honey, what are you doing?
Oh, I figured if I rubbed my lawn and said DrumLandscapeSupply.com, I'd have the dream lawn I've always wanted.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Today is day one of the Federal Reserve's policy meeting on interest rates, and a lot of Wall Streeters are pricing in a half-point rate cut from the Fed tomorrow. But there are worries about just a 0.25% cut, which erased most of today's earlier gains. That's after a surprise increase in retail spending last month. Right now, the Dow and the S&P 500 are both down a small fraction, the NASDAQ up 0.1%. Instagram under fire for years from a number of critics saying it did little to ensure the safety and mental health of its teenage users. Just rolled out new privacy settings for everyone under age 18, which restrict who can see those accounts. Amazon ordering all white-collar workers to get back to the office 5 days a week starting in January. And the robots have come for your fast food. Some Chipotle outlets in California are now using a machine called the Autocado, a robot that scoops out avocados to make your guacamole. The future is now at Chipotle. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Now back to Community Centered, presented by McIntosh Law, only on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to Yay Community Center listeners. We are delighted to be here with our friends Dan Mills and Wendy Whitehurst, who are part of the Lake Norman Rotary Club that are putting on a wine spectacular. And that is probably an understatement because it is a spectacular evening filled with energy, excitement, all for a good cause. And I know that Margi and I are two of the benefactors, and we'll talk about that in a little while. But Wendy, tell me what that evening looks like. What are you doing? Are there silent auction, live auction, people dancing, singing? What's going on?
All of it. You walk in the front door and you're greeted with a glass of champagne if you want that. And that's sponsored by Hendrick Automotive at North Lake. And so it's a perfect way to start the evening. There's photographers right there in the front. So You can get your picture to post on social media, and then you enter into the room where all the silent auction items are. And the food at Northstone is incredible. You walk into the bar, and there's a big raw bar with big shrimp, biggest shrimp you've ever seen. And
Mhm.
sometimes we have oysters. I'm not sure what's on the docket this year, Dan.
Yeah, I think it's going to be shrimp, and I'm not sure on the oysters this year because of season. We're a little bit later, but we're going to see how that goes. It might be an audible.
Yeah, you walk into the main ballroom, and that's where we have all the live auction items situated, and lots of wine that's hard to find, big magnums, double magnums, and other items that are not wine items. We've got trips and things like that we can talk about in a little bit. So, there's a good flow to the event,
And there's a diamond in one of the glasses of champagne.
and well, that would be fun. It's not exactly a diamond in a glass of champagne, but it's called our Champagne Diamond Raffle. And it's a raffle where you do put in, Dan will have to explain how that works, but it's a reverse raffle. And it's always something that has a diamond. And Windsor Jewelers sponsors that. And I'm actually going to pick that item up this week.
Lucky you.
And so that's a lot of fun, and it's been a historical raffle for the event even before I came, and we have a cruise raffle. So there's lots going on, but not too much. You have plenty of time to walk around and look at the silent auction items, check out the live items, which are also listed in the program, and sip on champagne, sip on wine. We have a couple pouring stations, and enjoy incredible food and friendship. It's a tight knit group with one part, and then we have a lot of newcomers. So you have people that have been there for years, and people that are coming that'll continue coming for years because they've experienced it.
It has a great reputation in the community for really being a fun, exciting night, for sure.
Yeah,
A
it
spectacular
is.
night. What kind of auction items are you looking for?
Well, golf is always great. We love items for women. It can be spa gift certificates, nail salon, massages, and we love getting restaurant gift cards. It's amazing. You'll have a $100 gift card that sells for $150 because people just, they realize it's for charity, and they get caught up in the bidding.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of fun. Trips are great. Sporting events are really great. Panther tickets, even if they're not winning, people love going to the games. And now we've got the soccer team, we've got the Knights baseball, we've got hockey. So any of that is really good. We love experiences. We have a 45-minute plane flight over Lake Norman in Charlotte. We could get like a balloon ride, or just some things that people would take away and have a fond memory of because it was an experience. That's always great.
That's awesome. So
Anything to add, Dan?
if somebody's listening and they have an auction item they want to donate, can they get in touch with you,
I
or can
would
Dan?
love that.
Okay, and how do they contact you?
The best way might be email Wendy, Wendy Whitehurst, WHITEHURST @gmail.com.
That would be awesome. So
Yeah.
I hope our listeners have got some ideas for you and can really shower you with some really great auction items.
Absolutely.
That would
It's
be
a
wonderful.
Fabulous night.
There are a lot of items that people don't think of sometimes, but they're services. So if you have a new business or a business you want to promote, we have a roofer that provides gutter cleaning for us, grill cleaning. There are just so many services and business opportunities to be part of it, and we'll also promote your business and make sure you get recognition for any donations that you make. In terms of the type of trips, bourbon is hot right now, so everybody has a bourbon lot or three at the event. We've got trips up in the mountains at Banner Elk. Also, we'll have if anyone is interested and as a veteran, I can appreciate it because I've been on it twice. Work with Nico and his crew with the Queen City Honor Flight to get the
fabulous.
World War II and the Vietnam, Korean War veterans back, and all the Iraqi veterans as well, back to Washington, D.C. to go. That's a wonderful day. we'll have that. There'll be a trip to Door County, up in Wisconsin, for a week up there on the lake in the fall, or a time that's available to you. And then we have a sportsman's package for those that are interested in taking advantage of that, which requires some training and certification. But it's a great package that the citizens have donated to us for almost every year for the last 10 years. So
from the range.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
Where's
amazing.
your cruise?
The cruise, you have options with it.
Okay.
So it can be a cruise or a destination stay, or you can take a cash option if you're the winner. And we're only selling 200 tickets at $50 a piece.
Okay.
So it's a limited number of tickets that are going to be sold to help you take advantage of it.
Okay.
Beautiful. That's awesome. What do you think makes this so appealing to everyone? Do you think it's the generosity that the club provides? Do you think it's the competition? Do you think it's the spirit? Or is it all of the above?
I think it's a little bit of all.
Yeah.
But I really think it has to do with our beneficiaries. They're all in our community.
Mm-hmm.
We try to make sure that the money that is raised in our club, in our own community, stays in our community.
Mm-hmm.
Not to exclude anybody, but I think that's part of the close-knit fellowship that we have with our sponsors and
Yes.
and our people that attend and donate. And so that's kind of my general take. Wendy, what do you think?
No, I agree. I think, we have our beneficiaries, and like both of you, they want to come and participate in the event and help raise funds for the organization that's close to their heart. And with our presenting sponsor, Novant Health of Huntersville, they've been involved for years. And so we get a whole table of people from Novant Health that are a center of the community here in Lake Norman and Huntersville. So I think because of our sponsors and the beneficiary, it draws people that have an affinity for that, along with the camaraderie and fun and the experience that the event provides with the wine tastings and the auctions and the food and seeing people that you might not see except for a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and getting dressed up too.
I know.
Let's
Getting
not forget
dressed
that.
up.
That's such the fun part of it. Tell me, do you have all the sponsors you need? Are you still looking for sponsors?
Oh no,
or?
we always entertain additional sponsors. Last year we sold all of our sponsorship packages, and so I just came up with new ones. So we still have available sponsors for our wine pour stations. A sponsor for this year. Is it a secret what we're giving away this year?
Well, kind of. but
Well,
it's
we have a
okay.
secret thing that we're giving away this year, and we could use a sponsor for that, and it's to commemorate the 25th year of the Wine Spectacular.
Oh, beautiful.
We still have a premier sponsorship available that gives you a little more exposure. So there's tons of opportunities, and then there's tickets available. We've got a couple of tables still available. So email me.
Yes.
That would be amazing. What's that email again?
WendyWhitehurst@gmail.com.
Okay. And who are some of the sponsors that you have already?
So we've, as I said, Novant, Huntersville, and we've got South Creek Construction. Those are our two presenting sponsors. And we have all of our table sponsors. We have a dessert sponsor with Arvind Patel and his wife, and US Foods donated for that. So
Fabulous.
we're excited.
Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about the beneficiaries for this year's 2025 auction.
Macintosh Law presents Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle. Coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, our wind is gone and our rain is tapered off to nothing more than a few scattered showers that can still remain for the rest of our Tuesday evening. We'll stay mostly cloudy as we go into the overnight hours. Temperatures tonight drop down into the mid-60s for our Wednesday. Well, don't put the rain gear away just yet. Some clouds and a few peaks of sun at times, but we'll run another chance of scattered showers for our Wednesday afternoon. Getting drier, though, toward the end of the week, and a nice weekend coming up. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. This Friday night, the monthly car show Hot Rods and Hops returns to RevFast. The late Apex Storage Condos on Cayuga Drive in Mooresville welcomes the slickest and fastest cars, motorcycles, trucks, racing, and high-performance machines. Food trucks will be on hand for delicious dinners, and Hoptown Brewing will be serving up cold beer. Get your weekend started off right with Hot Rods and Hops this Friday night at 6 p.m. at the late Apex Storage Condos in Mooresville. Birkdale Village's Live Under the Oaks concert series is also happening on Friday night. Ryan Winters will be playing on the Birkdale stage in Huntersville beginning at 6 p.m. Food and beverages will be for sale at the many restaurants around the village. Grab your chairs and your friends for the Ryan Winters concert Friday night at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. Movie in the Park is happening September 20th in downtown Huntersville. The show at Veterans Park on Main Street and Maxwell Street is open to the public free of charge. Bring your blankets and lawn chairs for an evening under the stars with the showing of Space Jam on a big screen. Movie in the Park begins at 7:30 p.m. at Veterans Park in Huntersville on Friday. The NHRA returns to ZMAX Dragway this weekend for the Carolina Nationals. When the temperatures cool down, the excitement heats up at the Bellagio of drag strips. Every ticket is a pit pass, giving fans unmatched access to the drivers and crews who power the NHRA's thunderous 11,000 horsepower machines to their limits. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com for information, tickets, and details.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays, October 5th through November 24th. A non-stop outdoor family adventure. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Call now to speak with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's community-centered on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. We are thrilled. I don't know where the time goes. Every Tuesday we say this. It just flies by. But in the last segment, we want to find out more about the benefactors and the people who you're helping, and again, give out your email again if anybody wants to help.
Okay, sure. Well, Breakthrough T1D was previously JDRF, and it's the world's biggest nonprofit funder of type 1 diabetes research. So they are one of our beneficiaries. And then I would love for Margi, you and Debbie to tell us a little bit about how the Y Spectacular's helped you all over the years. Little Smiles has been a beneficiary for years, and so has the Hope House. And then we have Cook Community Clinic, which was previously the Lake Norman Community Clinic. And this year we also have Cornelius Early Scholars that we're supporting, and they prepare children for kindergarten with the Foundation for a Successful Future. But I'd love to hear from you all on how we've helped Little Smiles and Hope House over the years.
Well, I just know very quickly, in our 14 years, I can remember standing up and talking to a group saying we've served over 500 kids this year. Now it's between 100 to 500 children a month.
Oh, that's amazing.
So without your help, we couldn't do that. We also are doing room makeovers, which I love, for children who have to be in the hospital for a long time. Because that hospital room can be very boring and cold and unattractive. And so to give the kids bedspreads, posters, animals, whatever they would need to cheer them up is something that we've really started doing a lot of.
And from the Hope House perspective, I can tell you some of the amazing things that we've used with the financial contributions is one of the things that we do, and I think we do it really well, is what we call wraparound supportive services. So if a family comes to us and they express a need for eyeglasses, or they need to have, I remember one year we had a woman with no teeth, and so we helped her get a full set of teeth. If we have someone who's in need of some mental health services, we can use the funds to help provide them with a fighting chance of stability and starting their life over. I think about the one family that we helped last year with some of the funds, who was a woman who had come to us. She had been living in a garage for over 9 years. with her 3 children, and she was able to break away and get to the Hope House. And when we sat down with her and we said, "Okay, you're going to need to be employed. What are you thinking of?" And she said, "I want to go to mechanic school because I want to learn how I can have a way out if that ever happened to me again. So I want to learn how I can take care of a car." So we were able to put her through CPC auto mechanic school. She's now an auto mechanic.
That's an
And
amazing story.
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And she has completely started her life over again and has a savings account and is working her way to purchasing her own home. So those are some of I wish I could be more clear, but it's all sort of like in the moment when,
Yeah.
like we're talking about a new family coming tomorrow with the 3 children. We'll sit down with her in the first week and say, what are some of the things that we can do that can make a difference that don't look like a handout, but that will help you to be able to stand up and not stand in a line? And so I'm anticipating what she's going to say, what that could look like. It might look like some childcare for her son. It might look like for something for her middle school daughter, some clothing or some back to school supplies that they didn't get to have. So we use it to just help people transform their lives. And that is a blessing and an honor to be able to watch that happen. And that's the only sad thing I have about this is that we get blessed with this beautiful financial contribution, but you don't get to see the amazing impact that it makes and what we can do with little for people who need so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just so grateful for that. And I know, I think about having that little extra cushion and that little financial contribution helps us to be able to do those kind of things.
I think you have to do without sometimes in your life at some point and understand you don't know where the next one's coming from.
You don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then in your positions where you have to make decisions about can we help this family or people? And I know what we all do.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly what we all do. Start reaching to take care of them.
Right.
But it's easier to help those that are affected in our community when you know that you have some income that comes in from hopefully events like ours that help sponsor you folks.
Yep.
So we're glad to do it, and it is hard work, but we get a lot of help from you and your extended families that help us through your contacts as
That's
well.
right.
And speaking of extended families and people that help us, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Giving with Grace and the Serve and Pickleball in the Kitchen that Robin and Jack Salzman are having and running, getting ready to start up. CE Enterprises is a big sponsor for us. That's Wyatt Abbott, and also the good folks at Pinnacle Bank with Patrick Madden and his crew over there who take great care of us. So those are also some people that I know that I can make a phone call to and ask for help, and they're always there for us.
That's right.
And you.
Yeah.
By
anytime.
default.
Anytime.
I think that's something that, we're surprised by every week when we do this, Margie, aren't we? That there's so many generous, giving, compassionate people in our community that we're blessed with because we couldn't do this work without it. It all sounds really good, but it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and a lot of financial contributions. And because of the generosity and hard work of people like you and the whole Rotary Club and our whole community, Margie and I get to do what we do, and we get to make those decisions and help the people that need it most. And I think the fact that there's synergy also amongst the benefactors, right? We had as a guest David Judge a couple weeks ago from Cornelius Early Scholars on our show because they've helped out some families at Hope House and in the community. And we have a child right now with diabetes in our home, and we had to call Cook Community Clinic to see if we could get some asthma the other day for a child that was suffering. So we all work together to create what we call hope in our community. And it's sometimes invisible, but yet it's always seen when people like yourself show up to make that happen. So I know that we get away from that sometimes when we think about the spectacularness of this evening, but what it really is doing, it makes me smile because I know it's helping Margie and her compassionate heart for the children in our community that are sick and really need it too. So it's just such a good thing all around.
It is.
I love how interconnected it all is. I didn't.
I don't think you do. I think that people lose sight of that, right?
Yeah.
That we all help each other.
Yeah.
Last
Ada
week,
Jenkins. I mean, they come to our storage unit all the time.
Yeah.
yeah. When
We
I had
got
to
a need, we can help.
I had to call Sarah last week, and I said this little girl, the mom didn't have any money. There was no medicine. There was no doctor. And I said, Sarah, where do I go for this little girl that has asthma? And she said, get her here. I'll be here in an hour. And I'm like, who does that? Who drops everything
Right.
to see to it that someone who's sick and in need can have a resource? So that's what we do for each other.
That's right.
I think
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think there's so many well-intended people that as we started today and we were reflecting on some of the things that are problematic in our community and around the country and around the world, it's good to know that we're going to wrap it up and finish on some really uplifting things
That's
that are
right.
done. And that's
Yeah.
what we need to keep sight of and
Yes,
stay
we do.
positive.
Yeah.
As there's always going to be something that's newsworthy that maybe is troublesome, but the outlook is always bright.
That's right.
If you look for it, you will find it.
There's
That's
always
right.
hope,
Yeah.
right? And
Correct.
we're here to put it in the headlines instead of these other headlines that we're having. We want to put hope back in the headlines and, spotlight folks like yourself that are doing such great things in our community. We get excited about hope.
Well, it just feels so good. You're
Yeah.
having a bad day, you can't have a bad day
Right.
when you see what some of these families go
Yeah. A lot of times people ask Margie and I, what keeps you going or what motivates you to keep going on after all of the things that you see? And I said, I know that there's a Wendy Whitehurst and a Dan Mills out there and a whole Rotary Club that are like rooting for us, right? They're in the front line with us. They're ready to help answer the need and answer the call when we need it. And not only just in this one night, but all the things that Rotary does. You donate a meal, you come and you fix things around the house, or you do some of our outdoor things. It's just amazing that there are compassionate people that are still working really hard on our
through. That's
behalf.
right. That's right.
Well, I think one of the things that Rotary does as an adjunct for this is they provide a good message for the people that are involved in the day-to-day outreach programs. And, leaders get tired too,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We all get tired. And there are days when you maybe go to a Rotary meeting and you get uplifted by what the product is that's given to the community. And so you can have a bad week or a bad month maybe, and you go in there for one meeting and you find out all the good that you've done. You go, quit feeling sorry for yourself and go get it
Right?
done. Right? We all
That's
have
right.
that.
And
Yeah.
Northville makes the best scrambled eggs and bacon too.
Well,
at
it's
your,
always there
at your
for breakfast.
breakfast.
And that goes without saying. Northstone has been a great partner for our club
Yes.
and in the community for probably 15 years. We have the event there every year. Their food and beverage department does a wonderful
We
job
always have our golf
cooperating.
tournament there. Yeah, every
Correct.
year.
You get a great meal.
Get a great meal and
Yep.
great service.
Yep.
And they are very community centered. Courtney Ford and
Yes.
Steve Foster and Diane there. They really take care of us, and they take care of the community as a result of that. So we really appreciate their help.
And they're
Yeah.
very good to work with.
The extra stuff that they provide, some people are like, we need a bigger venue. And we're like, oh, no. Northstone is so supportive.
That's
like
right.
we appreciate them very much. And so tickets are available. There's general admission tickets, and we have a couple tables. Just email me, wendywhitehurst@gmail.com. Auction items. If you want to sponsor, there's all kinds of things available.
Yeah.
There are lots of opportunities to be involved in this spectacular evening and a 25th anniversary at that. So congratulations on that in itself and the work that you do in the community. We're proud to be a part of it, aren't we,
Yes,
Margie?
I am.
And thank
Very
you for
much so.
being our guest today here on Community Centered. We're grateful that you're putting hope back in the headlines.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Serving